Hey there, Julie back with another behind the scenes video. This is from the Sophisticat workshop that we did, which was sort of a fashion beauty styled creative portrait session, but it was all about light. So we were playing with some creative lighting setups. You can see here that I've got the V-flat sort of set up in the background, and I had lights behind, I had lights in front. It was all about reflective and bounced light to create beautiful, glowing, ethereal sort of style fashion portraits. And we had Nicola in the studio with us again, and we thought it'd be fun just to do this as sort of like a vintage glamour. So we had the little black dress, black gloves, loads of pearls. She had done gorgeous hair and makeup for herself this time round, and we had played with some different props. So we had the fan, and we also had some hats and various other things. So we had a smaller group today because it was all about learning lighting, and I was going through and explaining how we were setting the lights up, and everyone was taking it in turns and posing Nicola and doing various things. So I was just moving the lights around. I had used 3 Godox AD200 Pros. One was a Pro 2, the other 2 were just the standard ones. I had also set up the Godox 200 light stick as well, and that was just in the background. You can just see that peeking out with the barn doors from behind that black flat in the background. So we were doing, like I said, lots of different poses. We, of course, this was all speed lights, so everyone was on triggers and things like that, and we were just moving stuff around. So even with the lighting, once we put the hats on, that of course brings a little bit of shadow onto Nicola's face. So what we did was we brought in a silver-sided reflector just to bounce some light back in. Why I went for silver was because in my mind I already saw most of these images as being in black and white, because I wanted that real sort of vintage look to it. So that's why I went with the silver reflector. We could have gone for a gold reflector or even a white reflector, but I really wanted to bounce more of that light back in. So we were just doing a few simple poses. Well, I had the posing table there, so it's really good to be able to have the model react with that posing table to start with. It gives you something to work with. We then had Nicola sitting upright more, so she wasn't so much interactive with the table, and everyone by this stage was starting to get a little more comfortable, jumping in, asking for poses, directing, all the rest of it. I even jumped in and took a few shots, as I do. I don't tend to shoot a lot when I'm running a workshop, but it's nice to be able to get just a few shots. I also get some reels and things like that behind the scenes. So we then actually took the table and the little stool away, and I brought out, I've got more of a vintage looking chair, and it's just pretty with the sort of gold and the fabric on it. So we were just doing some sort of standard poses. I was still jumping in, grabbing some shots, and then I let everybody else jump in and have a go. We changed out to a hat. So this one's got netting on the front, so that's just a little more challenging to be able to shoot through the netting. So I was just sort of talking to everybody, explaining, you know, what the changes were, that perhaps they might like to use a reflector and bounce that against their legs just to be able to get a little bit of light back up into Nicola's face. Again, because that hat is introducing a little bit of shadow over her face, as well as the netting too. And here's just a few of the images that I captured behind the scenes, as well as the settings. So as I said, I already knew that I wanted to edit all of these images in black and white. I felt that it just demanded it. We then pulled everything apart, and there's the Godox light stick there that you can see in the background. That just clips onto the AD200 Pro, and we were using both of the V flats with the white side facing in to Nicola, and we were bouncing the lights into those and coming back, so that was giving beautiful soft light onto her face. She was just a little bit chilly there, so she was just giving a bit of a rub. So we did have the heater on, but it was quite a cold, windy, horrible day. Typical Melbourne weather. And just a few more photos with the hat that had the netting over it. So it was a little bit challenging to try and get the eyes in focus, but not impossible at all. I was just showing Nicola some images that we took last time, so it's always good to sort of just give her some ideas of direction, the look that you're going for and all the rest of it. We had her stand up behind the chair this time, and we got out some vintage Ray-Ban sunglasses. We had a bit of a discussion of what classifies as vintage, but these are about 40 years old, so at least 35 years old, so surely that's vintage. But anyway, so we had Nicola just with the floppy black hat again and the sunglasses on the back of the chair. I apologise, I have cut her head off just a little bit, as I frequently forget to move the camera in the background. Just another image that I captured there. So what we did then was we pulled everything apart. I turned off the light that I had with the strip box, and we were just doing basic clamshell lighting. So I just had the light up above and pointed down, and we had a reflector sort of on the ground. So I was just making sure that one was switched off. And I believe I switched over to an 85mm, and I was then playing around. We were getting some more shots. I was going for closer up. Other people were just playing with some basic clamshell lighting. So with those very, very cool sort of retro sunnies that we had, and like I said, we were playing with basic clamshell, and we were getting the reflector in and bouncing some light back up into Nicola's face with those sunnies and the hat on. Next, we were moving some stuff around in the studio again, and what I had was this great little vintage mirror, and we were trying to capture just Nicola's gazing into the mirror and having the light from behind us. And I was just going through some basic settings, talking to everybody about what I was trying to do, and just capturing that image of her reflection in the mirror. So everybody was jumping in and having a little bit of a try with that as well. There's always at least one shot that everybody wants to get pretty much the same shot, and this was probably one of them. So I think we went through everybody who had a play with that. I went back and did it. We then dismantled the whole set, and of course, just to finish up, we got Nicola's mum, Lynn, who was my wonderful sort of assistant for the day, to grab a group shot of everybody. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on YouTube. Bye.